بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إنك لا تنادي فهبوا يا بني قومي أسودا أعيدوا للدنا أمجاد عصر وفلوا بالحديد لنا القيود.
Hello everyone, this is Colin once again. I'm making this video just as another general Ozzycda update where I talk about some of the future projects that I will be doing here on YouTube, some of the fun things to look forward to from me, and just sort of the general direction in which I'm taking some of these projects and topics in my videos. As you can see in the screen, and this might surprise some people, is Richard Dawkins' book, The God Delusion. And many of you know that my interest in taking on the question of atheism versus theism, belief versus unbelief, it has been one that's pretty much non-existent on my channel, and rightfully so, because it's not a topic that I'm very interested in debating or really, tackling. There are a lot of people here on YouTube on both sides of the fence, atheists who devote their channels to discussing from their point of view, the absurdity with faith, or the dangers of faith as they see it. And there are other people on the other side of the fence, many theists, who think that it's their duty as people who believe in God to crush atheism and any sort of science they use as evidence for their worldview. I, however, don't concern myself with such debates, considering that many of my really good friends are skeptics, and having known them for several years now, I find that I've lived a huge chunk of my life dialoguing this question and have had my fill. But that still has not stopped me from finally reading Richard Dawkins' book, The God Delusion, mainly because it's a very important book in the history of, if we could coin the term, neo-atheists, and it is definitely a book that a lot of people use as evidence, and it's important, I think, to know people's perspectives and where they're getting their information from. So the reason why I have the book here is not because I'm going to be discussing this book any further in this video, nor am I going to be making a video about the God Delusion and Richard Dawkins. What I'm going to be doing, however, after concluding this book, is that I've been jotting down notes as I've been reading it. Things I agree with Dawkins on, things I totally disagree with him on. And what I plan on doing in the near future is, on my blog, posting up an article with which it's going to be basically a book review, where I discuss my points in greater detail, things I agree with Dawkins, things where I think Dawkins is way off point. And it's in no way an attempt to refute Dawkins, because as I'll make it clear in my article, and I'll say it here, I am not a biology major, I am not a scientist, I am not a biologist. And therefore, a lot of things that Dawkins talks about regarding natural selection and science, I am not qualified to, nor am I knowledgeable enough to even take him on that level. And so therefore this article is not a refutation. So for those of you who are watching this thinking that Ozzy's going to pwn Richard Dawkins, that's not the intent of my article. The intent of the article is simply to review his material and just share my personal thoughts on whether I agree with him or disagree with him. And I think, and hopefully, many of you will be enlightened and will learn a lot from this article, and perhaps some of you will be surprised by the approach that I take regarding the article. For those of you who are wondering, does Ozzy still believe in God after reading this book? I do. So obviously, Dawkins didn't at least get me. But I give myself credit, and hopefully others will. I know my other atheists, I know my atheist and agnostic friends gave me credit for reading this book, and were excited that I was reading this book, because I do think I have an open mind, and I'm not afraid to read a book such as this. So yeah, in the near future, check out my blog. I'll link my blog in the description section, the more info section to the right of your screen. There'll be a link there, and you can periodically check it out. I will hopefully have the article up near the end of this week. I have 2 chapters left in the God Delusion, and then I'll be composing the article then. Another couple topics that I'll be covering in the near future, one of which is I will be completing my trilogy of videos called Memories of Muhammad, peace be upon him. And this has been, if you've been paying attention to these videos, they are me simply reading from a book by the same title, a biography of the Prophet, and I've just been reading from the introduction. Part 3 is going to be very short, because I'm only going to be reading the last little bit section that I've selected from the introduction to read from, and that will conclude that trilogy of videos. And again, I really think these videos are important. I think the author's message is very important, and his introduction alone is worthwhile, and so the rest of the book, therefore, is going to be really spectacular. Another 2 videos I'll be doing are actually going to be more along the lines of refutations and clarifications, which I haven't done in quite some time. Both of them are surrounding Surah 9, because in the recent week I've received not only a private message from an individual, but also comments in a comment section regarding my videos on Surah 9. And I'll be posting the links to both those videos in the comment section, because I believe that those are very important videos to watch of mine, and yet they are actually one of the most viewed videos that I have, ironically enough, and I consider them to be very important, and yet they haven't received that many views. And so I'll be posting links to both those videos in the more info section to the right of your screen, so you can see what I'm talking about. Because both my new videos are both going to be pretty long, actually, and they are going to delve deeper into the concepts of Surah 9, verse 29, and Surah 9, verse 30. 2 separate videos, inspired by 2 different people. But nonetheless, I devoted a lot of time to recording those videos, and I'll have those up in the near future. They're going to be pretty long videos and a lot of material. So I hope that they benefit everyone, and I hope that they will continue to dispel the misconceptions that exist about Surah 9 and the misunderstandings that people have regarding it. Finally, after all of that is up, so now we're talking probably pretty well into the future, I'm going to, by popular demand, I've been requested to continue my series on Is the Quran Corrupted? I did parts 1 and 2 of this, and where I was reading from Ozzycda amongst other places regarding refutations against Ahmed's Quran 3. This next installment will not be a direct refutation to anyone, but it will be refuting the idea further that that people say the Quran is corrupted. The topic of that video will be on the qirats of the Quran, or the recitations of the Quran. And I will be using Ozzycda's book, The Introduction to the Sciences of the Quran, to aid me in discussing this topic in more detail. So I was requested by a user here on YouTube to do that. I actually had not intended on making the video, but I feel that if someone is requesting it and feels that it's necessary and will be helpful, then of course, inshallah, God willing, I will make that video. So that's pretty much it, everyone. That's the update. These are the things you can expect from me in the near future. A lot of things happening, new videos here on YouTube, a new article on my blog, which has been long overdue. So I hope it stimulates a lot of discussion and a lot of healthy dialogue. And yeah, and if anybody else has any suggestions for videos that they'd like to see me make, or suggestions for things, granted I don't have a lot of time on my hands. My semester has just started, and I am working still, and so obviously I don't have a lot of time, but I'm willing to take suggestions, and if I don't respond to you right away, please don't take it personal. It's because I'm, again, juggling all these responsibilities. And so I'm willing to hear people out, anyone for that matter. If people are interested in hearing about any subject that they think I'd be qualified to answer. And of course, if I feel that I'm not qualified to answer, I will say, I don't think I'm the right person to make this video. However, I'd be willing to take suggestions of any kind and discuss them to the best of my ability if I'm capable. So yes, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you all for your support. And thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.